Bart Riley here, and welcome to my review of Dark Knight Rises. Yay! I will be going unscripted for this. Yippee! I'm screwed. Fuck it, I'm scripting.
Oh shit!
I don't care how late I am with this or who else has already reviewed this, I'm still doing it because I have something to say at the end of this review, though I have something to say now. Last time I do Batman, promise. It's actually funny that my last Batman-centric episode is one of my most viewed to date, with mostly negative feedback. I mean, I can understand why it wasn't my best thought out or explained video, but most of the points made against me aren't all that viable. I mean, one guy said that I can't criticize Batman when I've got Pokemon on my wall. Well, suck it now, buddy! Even though it looks like he's gonna punch me for talking shit about him. Anyway, this review will contain spoilers, but I have installed this nifty warning system for the two people who didn't see it in cinemas and want to wait for the DVD, including severity of spoiler, time you have to turn the video off or skip to the next one, and time you can return spoiler free. Let's begin. I liked it. Simple enough. I think it's the weakest of the trilogy, but not by much. First of all, the bad. I'm gonna shoot myself in the foot for saying in my last Batman video that he doesn't have to show up in his stories for them to be good, but yeah, Batman's not really in this film for a lot of the time. That's not really the bad part, it's just that Batman's not in here much because we're too focused on his alter ego Bruce Wayne. My point in the other video was that you don't need Batman around when you've got so many other interesting characters to spend time with, but here you spend more time with Bruce, who is even less interesting. The first half of the film was good because it was setting up the characters and the story, and the last quarter of the film was good because it was the climax. It's that third quarter section that I was yawning a bit through. But then again, my sleeping habits are fucked up, so that's not really a point. In the middle, after Bruce has faced his demons and returned to eliminating crime, the main villain Bane breaks his back and leaves him in a prison pit as he goes to take over Gotham, leaving Bruce to face his demons and return to eliminating crime. Again. And here it starts to drag out. They show the Gotham takeover, which is where I felt that stuff was really going down and I wanted stuff to happen, right before showing Bruce healing himself. I know that sort of thing takes a while to heal from, but it felt like that whole part was just there to get Bane's exposition in, which sets up a plot twist that none of the comic book nerds won't see coming. Speaking of Bane, his overall plan didn't really make sense. He's going on, I am giving this city back to the people, then I'm going to blow you all up anyway. Explain? He's continuing Ra's al Ghul's plan from the first film of ridding the world of the hole that was Gotham, but 8 years have changed the city for the better and there's no need anymore, even if it did all spawn from a lie. Bane himself is okay as a villain, but not the most interesting. I mean, I like him, but of the 6 main villains of the series, he's in the latter half for me. In fact, everyone in charge of a League of Shadows is in the second half. Probably says something bad about the League of Shadows. It goes Joker, of course, Scarecrow, Two-Face, Bane, so that's something, Ra's al Ghul, and Talia al Ghul, aka Miranda Tate, aka the random chick that Bruce gives his company to and fucks. I'm mixed about her. Her romance with Bruce was really sudden, and once she became the major villain, she didn't really do anything, but for the most part she was well set up, and I did like how they combined Talia and Bane's backstories for their plot twist, which I honestly did not see coming, even though I already knew that Talia was Rez's child instead of Bane. Yeah, I may not read the comics, but I still know my Batman lore. Mostly. Speaking of villains, for those who remember Dr. Crane's cameo, aka Scarecrow, his appearance in the last film, you could probably guess that he'll be back here, and his scenes this time, best of the movie! When he showed up, I had to fight the urge to vocalize my approval of it, because I would have been kicked out of the movies. I guess we're into the good stuff now, so I like the action scenes. The Batwing, whatever it was called, looked pretty awesome flying around. And then Hathaway as Selena Kyle. She's not actually Catwoman in this, she's just a very good cat burglar. I liked her for the most part. Correction, I liked the character for the most part. Anne was good the whole way through. Selena should not have been the love interest 2 scenes before the end. Right before the climax starts, there was a line saying, "Your girlfriend's pretty, he should be so lucky." Their next scene together, "Come away with me," I can't. It just came out of nowhere, and I didn't like that about the character. Fair enough, it wasn't as out of nowhere as the other love interest, but the rest of her scenes was setting her up as a strong, independent woman, and is just awesome. Especially the scene where she pulls a Batman on Batman. That's going to sound weird to everyone who hasn't seen it. But my favourite actor in this movie, behind Cillian Murphy, was Michael Caine. He's been pretty good in the rest of the series, but Alfred really shined here with 2 great emotional scenes, which I'm not ashamed to admit actually made me tear up a bit. Was stunted a bit by the fact I was seated next to a guy who's emotionally stunted, but I don't blame him for that. Alfred actually made me care about how it all ended, which, I'm just going to say it, they killed Batman, but not Bruce Wayne. At first while watching, I was actually happy they killed Batman. They gave it finality. But I was still worried they would set up a sequel anyway, regardless of Nolan's stance on the end of the series, which they thankfully did not do. More finality. Bruce finally got a happy ending for once. However, they did set up a possible spin-off for Gordon Levitt's character. He's actually named Robin John Blake, not Tim Drake or Dick Grayson or one of the other dozen Robins, which I'm actually okay with and would like them to do. Even in anime miniseries, even without Nolan, though preferably with, because it just makes sense to me, at least, that the Riddler should test Robin to see if he's good enough to replace Batman. And hey, if it is in live action, we can finally have Johnny Depp or Neil Patrick Harris as the Riddler. And if neither of them want the role, I'm available. Just don't bring Batman back and I, for one, will be happy. On that note, anyone else think we should give up on Batman for a while? From 2005, we've had the Nolan film trilogy, including anime miniseries. We've had 2 awesome video games with at least 1 more on the way. I haven't played the DLC levels for Arkham City yet, so I've no idea where they're going with that one. We've had the Lego tie-in games, now with Superman. DC Comics reset everything, so that should hold the comic book nerds over for a while. Cartoon shows, animated movies, God knows how much merchandise and toys, Gotham City imposters. Can we move on for a bit? The Joker at least has peaked for a while to come. Last time Batman had a boom, all we got was 4 LA movies and a TV show with a spin-off and some film tie-ins. And that boom ended well, didn't it? Do we need another Batman and Robin to get over this? That statement will definitely get me killed. For the next 5 years at least, I only want to see the Robin spin-off and the Arkham sequel. I will admit I'm intrigued by the new animated series for next year. And yes, I heard about the film reboots for the next few years. I'm just praying it falls through or something, not that it will. It's just like Amazing Spider-Man. Too soon. And with that said, I'm heading for the hills again. Bart Riley out. Missed! Batman was the savior of all Gotham City, the one you deserve but not the one you need. The Dark Knight was there when the White Knight fell, and he took the fall for all his dirty deeds.
But he never moved on, he still saw the ghosts of his parents, of Rachel and of Dan. Oh, what does he stand for? What does he stand for? Most nights he doesn't know anymore. Oh, 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 oh.
And he only had something to do with Poison Ivy in the last series. Yeah. In the movie that nobody liked. Except for me.
I liked it a lot.
Hey, what do you know? 2 people who liked it.
Poisonous Ivy is awesome.
I'm testing out my new lapel mic, which is pointing the wrong way. Testicles, testicles, 1, 2, 3. Where's my glasses? Where's my glasses? There they are. I'm blind without them. Can't even see the glasses in front of my face. Yep.
I am blind myself.
Who brought you here? Hello, Bar Riley here, and welcome to my review of Batman. The voice Batman puts on, no. Yes?
Take one.
We all make mistakes.
True. Like making the mistake of having you around while filming. I'm kidding. Including... I have no idea which way I'm going. I don't know why I'm concentrating on which side, seeing as I'm the editor and I can just switch them if I muck up, so... headache.
Take a walk. I won't do it anymore, I promise.
Thank you.
Take that.
Get out. Dark Knight. Batman-centric video, I
didn't do anything!
No, that was my fault.
Dumbass. I look at that and all of a sudden I see your head turn. I'm like, whoa. It looks like you're doing the heart thing like that. That and the cat. How ironic.
Batcat. Cat bat. Just trying to get in Bane's exposition.
Expeditious.
Exposition. To get expose.
Expose.
Hey.
Coming up with all these other words except that right one.
Exactly.
Is that wrong?
No, I just felt like doing that. Even if it did. Like, almost forgot one last thing. I personally never minded the voice Batman puts on. I mean, sure, it's silly, but only in this movie did I notice Batman does duck lips. That's even more distracting. Took me 3 movies to figure that out. I mean, the voice does sort of sound quackish. So...
Cut!